Alright, I'm just going to go over our homemade sawmill, so if any of you are looking to make one, hopefully I can give you some tips and show you up close how me and my dad made ours. We'll start with the engine. It's a Honda clone Chinese engine. I think it's a 9 horsepower. And the belt, I think that's a 2-inch pulley, and that one there is like a 6-inch. And originally this was our clutch setup. It's the custom doorknob edition, and as you pull this in, it pulls that idler pulley up and it just locks into that groove there. And it didn't work too well. It would kind of still grip, so we put a I think it's called centrifugal clutch on that locks up once the engine gets to a certain speed, and that works pretty well. So after that, there's a set of pillow block bearings here, and then it goes to another small pulley. It's like a 3-inch, and then it goes to a 14-inch with another idler here. It's spring-loaded to keep the tension on the belt. And then that goes to another set of pillow block bearings with a 1-inch shaft onto a set of ATV hubs that have keyways cut in them, so that way it will grip the rim. These are just trailer tires that the band spins on. To tighten the blade, you use this bolt here and the nuts. There's a tube, there's a square tube. You can see it right here. And then a smaller one right here. And that smaller one slides in and out of the bigger one. And that nut right up here is what tightens it to keep the tension on the band. There's another set of pillow block bearings right here, another trailer tire, and this one's the same setup. The only difference is there's a hinge right over here and another bolt here, and this adjusts the tracking to keep the blade centered on the tire, so that goes in and out to so your blade doesn't ride off your tire, because there is kind of a crown to the tire, so you got to keep it in the middle. This is I think it's a 1 tooth per inch blade, and right down here, this is the setup. This is where you cut in between these two set of bearings here, and these things here, these bearing guides, they slide in and out, and they've got tapped square tubes with little bolts in them to adjust them. We don't need to adjust ours very often because, I mean, unless you're getting a big wide log, you'd want to put it out there. And here's the bearing setup. It's just a couple of small bearings. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but this one right here has a little flange on the end to keep that blade from riding off as you're pushing it out. Then there's a big washer behind it, just in case it does slip off that flange. It's not going to go anywhere. So that's set up on both sides. And there's also a bearing underneath to keep tension on that so it doesn't ride over that flange. This is the lubricating tube. We just fill that with water. There's a little kitty litter bucket up there to keep the water in, and a little valve. I'll show you the track. It's just a 2-inch by 3-inch angle iron. You can make it as long as you want, and then that's what you set your log on. And then the whole sawmill rolls on these casters that have grooves in them. So these would spin and just ride along the edge of the angle iron. So your log is stationary and the sawmill moves. And this crank right here is how you get the height of your boards. So the cable goes down to a pulley right there, another pulley right here, then it goes back up. So if I would want to crank this thing up, just move it like that. Each crank is like a 1/16 of an inch or something like that, maybe even less. So and that's pretty much it. Oh, let me show you the log dogs we have to keep it on. This is my dad's idea. It works pretty well. Just square tubing, circular shaft with a little pipe that goes around it with a really tight fit, so there's a lot of friction there. So you just, these are tightened up right now. Would unscrew it, there's a little nut welded on there. And as you can see, they slide back and forth. So you just put them where you want them. You can see they're pretty tight. Get it close. And then just screw these things in. And that holds your log in there. There's 4 of them. If you're cutting a long log, you might want to put in a few more. Our maximum length on our sawmill is 12 feet, so we've only got 4, but if you have anything more than that, you might want 6 of them. So I hope this helps if you're building a sawmill. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to answer them.